Hola, después de muchos meses te doy la bienvenida a Sherlock Holmes, Crímenes y Castigos. Lo siento muchísimo. Estuve meses sin jugar porque estaba grabando, ¿no? Ok. La media hora de este caso la he jugado ya, pero no me acuerdo de nada. Lo que pasó es que borré sin querer el fichero y yo en plan... Ok, tengo que volver a rejugarlo. Bueno, lo haré mañana. Y así todo el rato. Y han pasado muchos meses. Sorry, echo de menos Sherlock. De hecho, me compré el segundo juego para jugarlo.
Oh, hello, Watson. You're early. Did you kill all of your patients?
What?
No me acordaba de esto. No me acuerdo de nada.
I increased the temperature of the room so as to prevent them from hibernating. I needed to take a sample of honey. But it worked, Watson. We will have honey all year round.
¡Yay! Esclavización de abejitas.
They're domestic bees, Apis mellifera, such industrious workers. Anyway, Watson, I am sorry, but I must leave you. I'm in rather a hurry.
You have a new case?
Yes, but nothing as thrilling as this experiment. A theft of plants at the Royal Botanic Gardens in Kew. I'm helping a minister who's an old friend of mine. You can join me if you like.
Well, I'll admit that I'd far rather accompany you than remain alone here with these workers of yours. Besides, you'll need a helping hand with the flowers you're intending to bring back.
Watson, however did you guess?
For the great Sherlock Holmes to bother with the theft of plants. Come on, admit that you're planning to spoil your little bees with some rare pollens.
Anda que no lo conocen, no.
Since when did I become so transparent? Let us go.
No conoce ni nada el Watson. Lo primero de todo, vamos a saludar a nuestro pequeño amigo. ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está el perrete? Toby.
Oh dear, Toby. I wasn't aware that you were Watson's new literary agent.
¿Estará de nuevo la mujer esa grandecita? Sí. ¿Qué haces siempre mirando por la ventana? Ok, Watson, no me des más susto si te viene, por favor.
Well, I'll admit that I'd far rather accompany you than remain alone here with these workers of yours.
Ok, me voy. A Kew Gardens. Kew Gardens. Qué bonito
well,
sitio.
Holmes, here we are at the Royal Botanic Gardens. There's no doubt that this place is beautiful. But are you really intent on investigating the theft of the plants?
Yes, of course.
Dale.
What are we doing, Holmes?
Let us find someone who could help us.
A ver. No me acuerdo de nada. Sí, me acuerdo de algunas cositas, pero no de muchas. De alguna nada más.
Don't touch anything else, is that clear? Just go and get a bucket of fertilizer. And without turning it over this time. Good day to you, gentlemen. How may I help you? If you are here for a visit, please do come back on Sunday.
No, gracias.
I'm afraid that it cannot wait. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson.
Hola, ¿qué tal?
We are investigating the theft of plants that took place here 5 days ago. A remarkable collection, I believe.
So you're the one in charge, eh?
A small favour for a friend. Now, to whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
I am Martin Hamish. I am the Deputy Director of Kew Gardens. And that fellow yonder is Albert. He works here.
I am delighted to meet you. What can you tell us about the plants?
They were rare and exceptional plants. We presented them at our last exhibition. We haven't removed the stand yet. It is still in the large glass house. We only learned of their disappearance the evening after the exhibition, and nobody saw anything.
No doors were forced?
No, but I would imagine that for a thief it would be fairly easy to gain entry, for there are no guards here.
No hay
Well, if you
guardia,
don't mind,
ojito.
we will take a look. Now, you say that it is in the large glass house.
Yes, the one just behind me. Just a second, since Albert has nothing else to do. Albert, show these gentlemen where the exhibition was held.
How many people work here?
Poquita gente.
Only myself, but occasionally 2 students, Albert, whom you have met, and Miss White.
Señorita White. Vamos a investigar.
Here it is. This is the place where the stolen plants were exhibited.
Thank you. Is there something the matter?
Yes, there is. All right, the plants were valuable and rare, but it seems to me that the tragedy that took place here only 2 days ago has been entirely forgotten already.
What tragedy are you referring to?
Me
The
acuerdo, me
director of
acuerdo.
the Kew Gardens, Mr. Montague Dunn, he died here just 2 days ago.
We're
De
very
eso
sorry.
no me han
We're not
informado.
aware. The two of you were good friends?
He was my father.
No.
Oh dear. Our condolences. We should not be troubling you. Please do excuse us for the intrusion.
You say that he died here, in the large glass house.
Holmes,
Y justo
Yes.
el robo
Just here,
pasa aquí.
near the door to the colonial
Vaya,
collection.
vaya.
He suffered a heart attack. Just like that. So suddenly. It was terrible.
Y si son plantas
Excuse me,
raras,
gentlemen,
a lo
but
mejor
I
se
cannot
envenenó
remain
o
here.
algo. O lo
If you
mataron.
need me, I'll be in the reserve. That's the room next to the front of the large greenhouse.
Of course, we understand.
what should we
Watson,
do next, Holmes?
examina el escenario. Tu. Mira, ahí hay marca.
According to Albert, this is where his father, Montague Dunn, was found dead.
Huellas.
These boot marks are fresh. It appears as though someone was dragging their feet. The traces are thinner in some places. The footprints reveal that someone staggered here.
Exacto. No sé lo que es trabillar,
Blood.
pero bueno. Está rotísimo.
The door was smashed at shoulder height. This door handle is new. It was recently changed.
O sea que se rompió. Chan, chan, chan. Sí, se
The
rompió la puerta.
ensconce was breached near the handle. The door was forced from the inside of the Colonial Collection room. The handle was changed afterwards.
I think we need to inspect
O
the
sea que
colonial
trató
collection.
de salir.
Very strange. Half of the Colonial Collection is absent. The
Detergente.
smell is strong. It is a detergent.
Lasca. Examinamos.
This broken fragment was the result of a heavy blow.
A ver.
A fragment of marble, most likely chipped from a statue or sculpture.
Interesante. Cristales.
These windows were perfectly cleaned. Part of this greenhouse was emptied and thoroughly cleaned.
Oh. Aquí no hay nada más. No. Venga, Sherlock. Qué raro, Watson esté aquí. Ta, ta, tan. Pero aquí falta algo. Aviso.
Do not touch.
No tocar. Vaya. Pues tocaron de más.
The plants were here. All of them were stolen.
Toda robadísima. Lista de planta.
Here is a list of the stolen plants.
No las puedo ver bien. Dioena, Carnivorous, Carlina, no sé qué. Como no sé ninguna, no te puedo decir. A ver, espera que le dé a la T. No. Salgo. La, la, la.
These trees, with their roots in water, must originate from Louisiana.
Ah,
Luisiana.
yes, the bayou. I remember our visit in the case of the Awakened.
Esto
This
está
sign is
rotísimo.
broken. Something heavy was dropped upon it. Someone
El
fell
hombre.
violently against this
Exacto.
sign, and they were injured in the clash. Most likely a head wound.
Sí,
Blood.
y ahí está la sangre. Es activity. Watson, quítate de ahí. Abrimos la puerta. Por aquí no hemos estado, ¿no? No.
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
Como tiene que ser, por el clima.
Dry tropics.
Por aquí no hay nada inusual. Macetas.
These flower pots are beautiful. They are intended to be used for exhibition purposes.
Solo para exhibiciones.
The symbol is not from Kew Gardens.
Really? Interesante. Otra puerta. ¿Una nota? No. Clima
Dry
seco.
tropics.
El otro era el clima mojado. Perdona, Watson. Aquí había cosas
There
quemadas,
is a
me
smell
acuerdo
of
de eso.
burning.
Vaya, qué sospechoso. Hay un fuego. No es nada sospechoso, ¿eh? No es nada sospechoso.
A protective mask.
Una máscara de protección.
Someone set it alight, but it did not burn.
Ja. Mira tú.
The plants were set alight fairly recently. Some have not completely burned.
Mira el pomo, el pomo, el pomo.
A door handle? Why would anyone throw such a thing in the fire? The door handle to the Colonial Collection
Exacto.
and that of the fireplace are made of the same material. A broom handle was half burned.
Aquí no hay nada incriminatorio,
The
¿verdad?
remains of a
No hay
picture
nada,
frame.
¿verdad? No hay nada, que va. Que va, que va, que va. Maceta rota. ¿Va a tener el mismo símbolo? No, es otro
The
símbolo.
symbol is not from Kew Gardens.
Interesante todo. Todo muy interesante. ¿Qué pasa, Watson? ¿En serio me he metido por donde no es? Sherlock no sabe saltar unas piedrecitas, una barandita. Vine por ahí. Huecho. Mapa.
Colonial Collection. Seed house.
Semillero.
Ventilation system.
Sistema de ventilación.
Dry tropics.
Clima tropical.
Water lily greenhouse. Colonial Collection.
Nursery.
Nursery. Director's office, cloakroom and laboratory. Palm house.
Ah, la máscara viene del laboratorio. Podría ser. Ya me estoy liando. No sé dónde estoy. ¿Qué tal? He vuelto. No me has dicho nada, ¿eh? No me has dicho nada
Albert
de
told us
eso.
about the tragic death of Mr. Dunn, the late director of Kew Gardens.
Tragic indeed. His heart attack was quite unexpected.
Y no era para nada relevante decírmelo, ¿no? Está manchado, cuello sucio. Tiene manchas. Tiene manchas. Tiene manchas por todos lados. Soltero. Manos de jardinero.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Chau.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
Sí. ¿Qué es esa hoguera? Niñato, ¿dónde está? Ven aquí. ¿Qué es esa hoguera que hay ahí fuera? ¿Trabaja usted aquí?
Do you work here?
Yes, but part-time only. For I'm also studying botany at the University of London.
Mira
You're
tú.
following in your father's footsteps, then. That is commendable.
Well, even if botany is not my strongest suit, there are people who say that I could be a good manager.
A ver. Ojos rojos. Lloró hace poco, consumido por la pena. Pues claro, si se ha muerto su padre, hijo mío. Corte de afeitado. Estaba tan nervioso. Manos limpias. Vaya, vaya.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again
Es muy
soon.
limpio este hombre. Muy limpio.
Farmhouse.
Muévete, Sherlock. Tarea.
A task list for Albert, compiled by Martin Hamish. Sweep out the palm house, scrub the toilets, clean the storage shed tools.
Vale, hay una escoba. A ver.
A task list for Albert, compiled by Martin
Había una
Hamish.
escoba quemándose.
Sweep out the palm house, scrub the toilets,
¿Herramienta
clean
había?
the storage
¿No,
shed
verdad?
tools.
No. Ok, entramos por aquí. Parece que por aquí no hay nada con la T. Vacío.
What should we do next, Holmes?
Caminar. Y tú seguirme. Pero no me des chusto. No me des chusto que te arreo, ¿eh? Bastante chusto me has dado ya.
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
Nenúfares. Ah, pues sí, de aquí venimos, ¿no? Sí. El asesinato. Esto es lo del asesinato.
These
Planta.
plants come from all the territories of the British Empire.
Ah, muy bien. Por aquí entré ya. ¿No?
Locked.
Cerrado.
Locked.
También cerrado. Por aquí entramos también. Sí.
Locked.
Cerrado.
Locked.
Cerrado. Oye. ¿No tienes nada que contarme todavía? Llave.
Would you unlock the doors for us?
Do you expect to find the stolen plants there? I am sorry, but those rooms are private.
Dame las llaves.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Oh my god.
Just be
No
careful
me da
with
las
the plants
llaves.
during your inspection.
¿Las puedo abrir de una patada?
Locked.
No. Oye, ¿tendrá el muchacho la llave? A ver si me he dejado algo aquí.
The trace... These... The door was... The door handle to the colonial collection and that of the fireplace are made of the same material.
Por supuesto.
The door handle to... The door... Fragments of a flower pot. It fell down here. Soil. It should have come from a flower pot. The soil on the side of this flower shelf is the same as that on the ground.
Maceta rota.
This pot was broken fairly recently.
Se
A
rompió
flower
hace
pot
poco.
recently fell down from these shelves and was misplaced. All the clues around here are quite suspicious. I need my imagination to make sense of it all.
A ver. A ver.
No, it wasn't like that.
Primero se dio un golpe, luego la maceta y luego la valla. Ah, que lo tenía que seleccionar los tres. Sí, fue así.
This reconstruction reveals a disturbing fact. Montague Dunn damaged the door of the colonial collection room.
He was in a panic, or the door was locked. Was it an accident, or a murder then?
Un asesinato.
What should...
Ve. Ya está. Practicarle una autopsia a Montague Dunn. La muerte es sospechosa porque forzó la puerta de la sala de la colección. ¿Por qué alguien limpió y vació la sala? ¿Fue una trampa o un simple accidente? Tengo que ir a hacer una autopsia. Excuse me. Ahí. Exacto. Me voy a hacer una autopsia. Fuera de mi vista. Todo el mundo. La, 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 la.
Excuse me, but I have to tidy up this room.
Has regado ya mucho esa parte. Se te van a ahogar las
Just be
flores.
careful with the plants during your inspection.
Ten cuidado tú. Vas a ahogar las plantas.
I asked Inspector Lestrade to take Montague Dunn's body to Scotland Yard.
It's ready for autopsy then.
Vaya, vaya.
It's ready for autopsy then.
Buenas, buenas, buenas. ¿Qué tal?
A very good day to you, my friend. Is Inspector Lestrade in?
I'm sorry, sir, but the inspector's absent.
Ah, mira tú. Cuando más se lo necesita es que no está. ¿No está o no quiere? Primero esto. Una carta. Al señor F. Wayne, director de la imprenta Wayne & Sons, estimado amigo, sus carteles para la gran exposición de los Kew Gardens son muy bellos, pero sin duda no sea necesario que en ellos aparezca todo el personal con mi nombre batara. Uff. Muy mal, muy mal.
This watch is of great value. A
Pluma.
beautiful feather pen of a good make.
A ver. Una carta del club.
A membership card for the London Crest Club.
Mira tú. ¿Puedo darle a la T? No hay nada. Ok. Vamos a hacerle la autopsia al buen hombre este. Era por aquí, ¿verdad? Sí. Todavía me acuerdo. Hola, señor muerto. A ver. Watson, digo Sherlock.
First of all, let us carry out an external examination.
Bonito mostacho. Mira el golpe en la cabeza.
There is an injury to the skull, most probably caused by the fall in the water lily greenhouse. The vessels and the pupil of the eye appear quite normal.
Ese muchacho.
The air from the lungs carries a faint floral aroma.
Lo envenenaron o algo. Le dieron un tecito.
There are no suspicious marks upon the chest. Let us finish our external examination so that we can proceed with the autopsy.
¿Las manos?
Nothing suspicious here.
Nada sospechoso. Nada sospechoso.
No redness, stings, or bruises. Now, let us examine the internal organs.
A ver, a ver. La 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 la. ¿En serio me van a...? Bueno.
The liver is enlarged. It would seem that he was suffering from an alcohol addiction.
Vaya.
The liver tissue is brown. There are no visible pathological signs.
Básicamente bebía, pero no estaba tan mal.
The lungs are congested and edematous.
Uf, a este lo han envenenado. A este hombre lo han envenenado.
The tissue on the inferior lobe of the right lung is damaged, most probably caused by toxins from an unknown plant.
Corazao.
The heart's blood vessels show no pathological signs. The heart's blood...
Uy.
The heart's...
Por aquí.
The heart...
Tejido coronario.
The
Vaso
heart...
sanguíneo. No, le tenía que dar a los
The
tejidos.
heart tissue shows no visible pathological signs.
El estómago.
The stomach tissues show no visible pathological signs.
Sí, ahora ve por detrás.
There is a small amount of content. It appears that he breakfasted lightly, only a short
A
while
este le dieron
before
un
his death.
tecito chungo. Que lo sé yo, seguramente.
My suspicions have been substantiated. Montague Dunn, the director of Kew Gardens, died from poisoning. Plant poisoning, to be more exact.
You mean
Es un
Yes,
asesinato.
it is murder.
Yes.
we should inform Lestrade?
Yes, but do remember, Watson, that I discovered the murder. The challenge is mine.
The challenge, Holmes?
We need to locate that deadly plant. Such a perfect murder appeals to me.
Murder of
hoguera?
any kind appeals to you. Is that all we need to do?
No, we also have the people working at Kew Gardens. Martin Hamish and the son of
La
the
señorita
victim,
White también,
Albert
¿no?
Dunn.
And also Miss White, of whom we spoke with Mr. Hamish. Should we bring them all here for interrogation?
Sí, a los
No,
tres.
a few innocuous questions at Kew will suffice, as well as a discreet delve into their personal
¿En
affairs.
serio?
Yes, Watson, it is time now to open the doors.
A lo mejor lo
Even
mató
those in the
porque la
staff building.
señora,
I
la
suppose
señorita
that is
White
necessary.
estaba liado con
We
el
should also
otro.
be concerned
y
with
le
the
dio
victim
celo,
himself.
a
After all,
saber.
we don't know very much about Montague Dunn.
You're enjoying this already, aren't you?
O por celo incluso.
more than a little.
Ve. ¿En serio tiene esto algo que ver? Después de que el asesino encerrara en la sala de colección colonial, el montaje inhaló un veneno virulento de origen vegetal. ¿Te va a quedar aquí, Watson?
What should we do next, Holmes?
Yo irme, tú no lo sé.
Locked.
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 Sí, de aquí vengo, de aquí vengo, de aquí vengo, de aquí vengo. Chao,
Mr.
pescado.
Holmes?
¿Qué tal? Todavía está regando estas flores, de verdad. ¿Todavía?
Mr. Hamish, can you explain to us what happened to the colonial collection? It seems somewhat depleted.
But, most likely maintenance work, tidying up.
Claro,
You're
claro.
not sure, then? But you're the deputy director.
Well, I am busy. I cannot be everywhere at once.
As
Relación con
deputy
Luna.
director, how was your relationship with Montague Dunn?
To be honest with you, Mr. Holmes, it could have been better. You see, every Tuesday he would carry out his inspection of the gardens, but it was solely to make an impression, great pretense that he cared at all. He would give out absurd orders, ignoring anyone else's
fuerte.
opinion. He would then disappear for
¿Será
the rest of
verdad
the
o es
week.
porque estaba
He was what
celoso?
some might call a man of action. I'd say rather he was overzealous and chaotic. So after all, it was
Lo
no
que es
wonder
verdad es que no le
perhaps that
cae
he ended
bien.
up like
Ahí
that,
ya.
if you take into consideration his kind of lifestyle.
Estilo de vida.
You mentioned
Bebía.
that Mr.
Eso lo
Dunn led a
sabemos.
particular lifestyle.
Well, it's no secret that he enjoyed, celebrating, shall we say. He was a member of the London Smart Set. He was famous for it. That and
And
Y...
he had an eye for the ladies, to put it mildly, Mr.
Ay, lío de falda.
what is your opinion of Albert as a student of botany?
He's useless. I often tell him so, and I can only give him cleaning tasks. Botany
Pero si
is not
siempre
his
tiene la mano
life's
limpia.
work, and his father well knew it. He was furious about it.
He was.
Oh yes, he forced his son to work here.
Qué
And he
fuerte.
never missed an opportunity to criticize him publicly.
Vaya, vaya.
Are you able to
De lo
elaborate
que se
on
entera
that?
una.
Well, for example, with our last exhibition here, Mr. Dunn had Albert make a presentation speech. But then, while the lad was speaking, Mr. Dunn interrupted him, asking him difficult questions, making him look like a failure.
Oh,
It was with the intention
qué
of making a fool
malo
of him,
tú.
Mr. Holmes.
That must have been terribly humiliating.
Yes, he was crushed, and he had to leave. Everybody was making fun of poor Albert.
Pobre
That is,
Albert.
except for Miss Margaret White, who was such a nice lady and who always takes pity on Albert.
Vaya, vaya. Margaret
You
White.
mentioned a Miss White. Would you tell us more about her?
She is a student who works here
Ah, una
part-time.
estudiante.
She is quite charming indeed. She possesses a great talent for botany. You should take a
Hay
look
que
at some of her
decirlo.
experiments that
De
she
por
carried out in the
medio.
laboratory. Ah, if only she were not so naive.
Why naive?
The way she used to flutter around Mr. Montague Dunn. And he, why, he couldn't help but be flattered by all her attention.
Tío,
How
qué
could an intelligent
resentimiento.
woman such as Miss White not see through his game? I can only scratch my head and wonder.
Ajá.
Tell me, Mr. Hamish, do you grow the more deadly variety of plant here?
You mean insectivorous? Yes, but nothing larger than that.
Mira tú.
Mr. Hamish, Can you tell us who holds the keys to the locked greenhouses?
That would be Albert, Mr.
Ah,
Dunn's
mira
son.
tú.
Yes, Albert keeps all the keys, and one can only imagine why.
Mira tú.
What do you mean?
Well, he was never interested in Kew Gardens before. And now, all of a sudden, he's trying to act as if he owns the place.
Oh,
I think he wants to take over
eso
the
a mí no me lo
management
han
here.
dicho.
He'd do better to leave that to me. He has no experience. No, none at all.
Oh my
Thank you, Mr.
God.
Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Bueno. Yo tengo que conseguir la llave, ¿eh? ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde estaba?
Lock.
¿Dónde estaba? Watson. Por aquí no estaba antes. What? ¿Dónde me he metido?
A water tank. A ventilation system. It should regulate the temperature of the staff buildings.
¿Dónde me metí? Estaba por aquí. A ver. Estaba detrás de esta puerta, creo. Sí. Hola. Señorita White.
Who is Miss Margaret White?
Ah, she is the young lady who studies with me. She visits here sometimes to help out with the greenhouses.
Mira tú.
In fact, she should be here today. She wanted to work at the seed house. That's the small greenhouse across from the large glass house.
Colección colonial.
We noticed that a part of the colonial collection has been cleared.
Ah, at the moment I'm just dealing with the storage room. I don't know much about the other
Se hace
rooms.
el buenecito, Se hace el buenecito.
I imagine that your relationship with your father may have been a strained one.
Yes. I cannot say that he was a kind man, for he never listened to me at all. He forced me to work here. But now, after his death, I've been pondering it over. Perhaps he wasn't so wrong about me after all. I have to follow his path.
Explíquese.
And I have to manage Kew Gardens. And I can do it. I can be as good as any other who works here.
Claro, eso está muy bien.
Would you please tell us about Martin Hamish, the deputy director?
Well, I have to tell you that Mr. Hamish is not and has never been the deputy director of Kew
¿Quién me
Gardens.
está
My father
mintiendo?
would not have tolerated it.
Indeed? Well, that is most interesting. He told us that he was.
Qué fuerte.
Yes, because he believes that the management should be passed down to him now that
O
my
sea que
father
si
is
estaba
dead. But in
celoso.
actual fact, Mr. Hamish only has the honour of being the garden's longest-serving employee.
Ay,
In fact,
se cree
if we are to think
que
logically
por
at all,
ser el
Should
empleado
be
más
me
antiguo
who
tiene más
takes over the
derecho, ¿no?
management of Kew Gardens.
Do you not have a good relationship with Mr. Hamish?
Nope.
I suppose so. But we have very little in common. Mr. Hamish loves his plants and Kew Gardens, and I cannot say that I share his passion.
I see. And how was his relationship with your father?
Oh, he hated my father. It was obvious. He would be furious whenever my father boasted of Kew Gardens in the newspapers or at conferences. He was convinced that my father was stealing all of the credit for himself.
Pero,
But my father
uf,
treated Mr. Hamish in the same way as he treated anyone. Dismissively. With indifference.
Mamma mío, dame las llaves.
Do you
Las
hold
llaves.
the keys to all of these locked doors?
Yes, you can have them. But I cannot give you the keys to the cloakroom. The employees' effects are private. I am sure you understand.
Thank you, young man.
Debería de
We-
dármelas.
Excuse me, but I have to tidy up this...
Ok, vamos a dejar el vídeo por aquí. El próximo domingo más. ¿A que sí, Watson? Watson
What should we do next, Holmes?
está siempre con el disco rayado. ¿Qué vamos a tener, Holmes? Así todo el rato. Pues ya está. Denle like, suscríbanse para más. Y nos vemos en
What
el
should we do
próximo
next, Holmes?
vídeo.